Have you ever wondered why someone who once knew you well started to drift away? Or why certain relationships seem to lose their warmth over time? Often, it's not the big arguments, but the subtle, everyday habits that cause people to lose respect for us. Today, I'll walk you through 5 awful habits, behaviors we may not even realize we're doing, that can push others away and silently chip away at our relationships. And here's the key. Recognizing and addressing these habits can completely change how others perceive you. Stick around, because the third habit is a game changer. Something most of us unknowingly do, but it could be the one thing turning people off. These next few minutes might just be the eye-opener you need to reclaim your relationships and respect. Let's dive in.
Thanks for sticking with me so far. Before we continue, please take a moment to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on more valuable content coming your way. Your support means a lot, thank you.
Respect is one of those intangible things in life that we often take for granted until it's gone. And let me tell you, as someone who's lived through 8 decades of life, I've seen how these subtle behaviors can either build bridges or burn them down. When people respect you, relationships flourish and opportunities open up. But the moment that respect starts to wane, everything feels harder, whether it's with friends, family, or colleagues. What's interesting is that the habits that cause disrespect aren't always obvious. Sometimes, we think we're just being honest or relatable, but in reality, we're pushing people away without even realizing it. That's where today's lesson comes in. We'll draw inspiration from the great Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius, who famously said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one." This timeless wisdom reminds us that our actions, not our intentions, shape how others see us. So, let's uncover these 5 habits, break them down with real-life examples, and most importantly, learn how to fix them. Are you ready? Let's get started. Have you ever been in the middle of a heartfelt story, only to be cut off by someone who thinks their point is more important? It's frustrating, isn't it? I used to be that person. I'd interrupt people, thinking I was adding value to the conversation, but all I did was show disrespect. I remember a dinner with an old friend, Mark. He was sharing a tough time he was going through, and instead of listening, I jumped in with my own advice, completely cutting him off. He paused, looked at me, and said, "Can I finish?" That moment hit me like a ton of bricks. I wasn't listening, I was waiting to speak. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Let each thing you do be done as if it were the last thing you were doing in your life." When we interrupt, we miss the opportunity to truly connect and understand. Next time you're in a conversation, pause, listen, and let the other person feel heard. Gossip may seem harmless, but it's one of the quickest ways to lose respect. I learned this the hard way during my early career. There was a coworker, Susan, who often stayed late to help with extra tasks. One day, I overheard someone joking about her dedication, and instead of defending her, I joined in. Word got back to her, and the trust we had built shattered instantly. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus warned, "Keep silence for the most part, and speak only when you must." Gossip not only damages others, but also ruins your reputation. If someone gossips to you, remember, they're likely gossiping about you too. Choose to uplift others instead. Have you ever had someone make plans with you, only to cancel at the last minute? It stings, doesn't it? I'll admit, in my younger years, I had a bad habit of over-promising and under-delivering. One time, I promised to help my neighbor Joe with his garden. But when the weekend came, I backed out, saying I was too busy. From that day forward, Joe never asked me for help again. Being unreliable tells people they can't count on you, and it damages relationships. The Stoics believed in consistency. Seneca said, "Fidelity is the sister of justice. If you say you'll do something, follow through." Reliability is the foundation of respect. I used to think complaining was a way to connect with others, but I realized it only pushed people away. During a group project in college, one teammate, Kevin, constantly complained about the workload. His negativity dragged everyone down, and by the end, no one wanted to work with him again. The Stoics taught us to focus on what we can control. Marcus Aurelius advised, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Instead of complaining, find solutions. A positive mindset not only earns respect but also inspires those around you. Do you find yourself justifying every little mistake, even when it's not necessary? I used to. If someone pointed out an error, I'd spend minutes explaining why it wasn't entirely my fault. One day, my granddaughter Emily said to me, "Grandpa, it's okay to just say, 'I'm sorry.'" That simple statement changed how I approached feedback. The Stoics believed in humility. Epictetus taught, "If anyone tells you that a certain person speaks ill of you, do not make excuses, but answer, 'He does not know my other faults, else he would not have mentioned only these.'" Owning up to your mistakes earns far more respect than defensiveness ever will. Now that you've seen these 5 habits, think about which one might be holding you back. But don't go anywhere yet. There's one more crucial step you need to take. Respect is earned through our actions and habits. By recognizing and overcoming these 5 behaviors, you can create stronger, more meaningful connections with the people around you. Comment 1 if this video helped you, and comment 2 if it didn't. Subscribe now, because your support means the world to us, and it helps us continue sharing wisdom that truly matters in your life.